In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to create a project in atlassian.net, which is the cloud offering for Jira and Confluence. There's a lot of benefit to using this cloud offering. Number one, Jira and Confluence have a fairly good market share for Scrum tools. So if you want to learn about Scrum, you want to learn about project management, this is a really good way to get started and understand some of the nice things that Jira can offer and Confluence can offer, and get a little bit of practice in that. Additionally, if you have a team of 10 or less at the time of this recording, the cloud offering is free. So, try before you buy and actually don't have to pay for it. If you have a team greater than 10, you still will likely find it's cost effective to use this cloud offering instead of hosting it yourself. So let's jump right in. I've gone to atlassian.com, which is where we can get started. I choose Try Now. And then it gives me several options here that I can look through. I can hit Try Cloud, and before long, it's going to prompt me to log on. Now, I have already created an account. So if you haven't created an account, you can create one here using your work email or simply using single sign-on with Google. Either way works. I'm going to go ahead and log into my account where I already have a few projects, but I'm going to create a new project. Now I've logged in, and you see my dashboard looks a little interesting, probably different from yours if you're just now logging in for the first time, because I've been invited to several other projects and I have some projects of my own. So you might not have all of these shortcuts that I have, but nonetheless, I'm going to go to Administration, and then I'm going to see, first of all, some projects I've already worked on. I'm going to go to Products, and I'm going to choose Add Product. And I'm going to go ahead and say New Site. Lender 2060 is an existing project I've worked on, kind of like a setup project. So I say New Site, and I'm going to say Jira Software, and we can add other things later like Confluence. So first of all, let's give this a unique name. It's something.atlassian.net. I'll call it My Plant Diary. And confirm that indeed this is available. So I'll say Agree and Start Now. And here we have an option to choose something else. So now I'm going to be doing some things with Confluence. So I'm going to go ahead and select Confluence. And then choose Agree and Continue. There's some really neat things that Jira and Confluence can do together, which is part of why I want to create this project and then walk you through it. We're going to do things like use JQL to create a Jira query and then embed that in a Confluence document. So not in this video, but that will be in a future video. If you're not familiar with Confluence, it's kind of like almost like a really enhanced wiki or an information repository or knowledge repository. But the nice thing is it works really well hand in hand with Jira. So we have our good to go, and we'll go ahead and choose Set up Jira Software. In my case, I'm going to say I'm experienced with Jira, and my software teams, that's fine. My team is experienced with agile methodologies. We spend our time working on features. I think most teams have a tight schedule to finish their work. Let's go ahead and say tight. And I'm going to say My Plant Diary. Incidentally, that last question where it said tight deadline or flexible deadline, if we choose tight, the recommended approach is Scrum. If we choose flexible, it gives us Kanban. So that's what that last question is going to drive. But nonetheless, we'll go ahead and choose Create Project. And we will work on GitHub integration, Circle CI integration, and Teams integration in a later video. So this is handy to see, but let's hold that thought until we get our project set up. And here we go. At this point, we have a Scrum board. Now we can take a look around. Roadmap is going to give us a view of all of our epics, and it's going to show us a sequence if we wish, so we can have some dependencies across epics. And epics are really big things we want to get done, really big features that can be decomposed into stories and to tasks. As a matter of fact, we can create the tasks on that roadmap board, but we'll often also see them here in our backlog view. So backlog is going to have our sprint backlog, and then we're going to pick stories from the sprint backlog and we're going to put it into a sprint. We're going to do that in sprint planning. And before sprint planning, we're going to do backlog refinement, which is where we take a look at all the stories and we give them story points. In other words, a relative amount of complexity. I'll handle that, but I'm going to do that in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. Active sprints is going to give us kind of like a Scrum board view where we can move things across the lanes. And then reports are quite handy because reports will take all of the data that we're generating while we're in our sprint, and it will report on it. In other words, it will show us how we're doing against our goal, how closely we're following the Scrum methodology, and it can give us this information either during our sprint with something like a burn up or burn down chart, or give us information after a sprint is complete, for example, with a velocity chart. After that, we'll see a few other things we have. We have options for integrations with a source code repository and also with things like Confluence, which again offers us a lot of power because we have that concept of kind of like a wiki, but then we can embed Jira tools inside of that. So all of this we'll explore in a few future videos. So as always, I hope this video was helpful, and I look forward to reading your comments. Thank you.